guys, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to give it a go and try a new challenge. The challenge that I'm going to be starting is the Sims 4 Simerican Settlers challenge. As you can see on the screen, this is a challenge that was made by Vintage Sims. It's on the Mod the Sims website. If you want to check it out, I will leave the link in the description below. For this challenge, we're going to be making a mid-Victorian sim. This sim will need to go through all of the decades until we reach the 1890s. When we do reach the 1890s, I'm going to start doing the decades challenge. It's just because I really wanted to try the decades challenge, but at the same time I was like, I don't know, I feel like dressing my characters in an 18 something fashion. So yeah, I tried to look for any other challenges that were set a bit earlier, and this is basically the only one I've found. If you guys have other ideas of challenges, ideally wanted a challenge that would start on the 1820s. I really wanted to do a Regency era, but I couldn't find any challenge that would give me those vibes. And I like to have rules, I like to have goals, so I just ended up going for this one. So we're going to start in the 1850s. Well, I guess it's a wild ride. So for the 1850s, we have after the Oregon Trail. The year is 1850. Your founder has just arrived in Oregon after a long journey from their home state of Illinois. Land is cheap and there is plenty of it. Your founder buys a plot of land and builds a home, a farm, and hopefully a legacy of their own. This is life after the Oregon Trail. So the storytelling part that I'm going to use is kind of like this. So they came from Europe, they arrived in America, things didn't go as planned, and they went through the Oregon Trail, and now they're in a new land. They are in Oregon, they need to start building their life from scratch again. They are basically upper class, just because the clothes that I found weren't really like peasant. So yeah, we'll give it a go. I'll try and read some of the rules, so I hope this will work for you. For the rules of this challenge, we have something that is addressing the traits a little bit. So life was incredibly hard on the Oregon Trail, and many people lost family. You may choose your Sims traits, but one of them must be the following: either gloomy, hot-headed, insane, mean, hates children, jealous, evil, or non-committal. For this case, the one that I'm going to use will be gloomy. I think it will fit them. I'm not going to go into detail about the family that they lost or the friends or anything, but like, it makes sense if they are upper class and they moved to another country and they lost a lot of stuff, or everything in this case, aside from maybe the clothes in their body. The idea is to dress our Sims as historically accurate as possible. I will try to do this. That is why they need to come from an upper class background. We need to start with two unrelated Sims of the opposite gender that must be married. We can also have family members that live with us, but we're not going to go there. And we can start with any ethnicity, but we won't be able to marry outside of that ethnicity until the 1960s. I don't know, I'll guess I'll see. If any of my heirs find someone that they like and it's from another ethnicity, I'm not going to keep them from being happy. I know that I'm trying to have this as historically accurate as possible, but at the same time I don't know, it's The Sims. It doesn't need to be 100% accurate. If Bridgerton did it, we can do it as well. We can start with a pet, but I don't think I'm going to do that. Land was cheap, so we need to buy a big lot. When it comes to the lifestyle rules, men must make a living through woodworking, gardening, painting, fishing, searching for collectibles, beekeeping, or flower arranging. In this case, I am going to say like candle making as well, you know, just because it makes sense. Men must pay the bills, they need to fix broken items, and keep a close relationship with the heir. Choose and speak to suitors before introducing to his daughters. Women can help with gardening, painting, beekeeping, flower arranging, or candle making. But women must take care of the children, cook all of the meals, teach the toddler skills, read to the children, clean the home, wash the laundry. I don't know how they would do all of this and still be able to garden, paint, beekeep, flower arrange, or make candles, but okay. If a woman becomes widowed, then she may earn money. For fun, Sims can play horseshoes, they can play darts, they can play chess, they can paint, they can take photos, although I'm not quite sure how taking photos would tie into the 1850s, but okay. Play the piano, violin, fiddle or read. Your Sims cannot afford birth control, so you must try for a baby or no woo-woo for you who. We need to grow a cow plant for the 1860s. In this case, I'm not going to do this just because the cow plant is used to kill off Sims that die in a war. Considering the fact that I have MCC and I have I don't know, I was going to say unfortunately I have other mods, but it's not unfortunately because I put them there. So I have life strategies, I have some other sim torments, I have a few mods that I can use to kill the Sims, so I'm not really planning on doing a cow plant, because I don't know. You may not use a pregnancy test to determine if you are pregnant. We can only use the cell phone to invite other people over, because we can consider it a letter. So building rules. We need to build a small cabin, only one bedroom allowed. We can use motherlode to build the cabin accurately, but use the sheets, testing sheets on and money 100 to start with 100 simoleons before we play. There is no electricity, so we must use candles, lanterns and fireplaces for light and warmth. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to add the lot trait for off the grid. If I do this, I am pretty sure that we'll only be using candlelight and lanterns and fireplaces. Our Sims must use bathtubs, so no showers, no indoor plumbing, only outside toilets. We need to build our house with what we find. We can use wood and stone to build our property. This includes walls, floors and furniture. And we must use old-fashioned stove and appliances. So, here we are in the world. This is Windenburg, the cabin that I decided to make. It's not exactly as the rules say, because the rules said to do a cabin for a really poor family. And in my head at least, this family isn't all that poor. I will explain. In my idea, these people, and their names are the Lewis family. So we have George Lewis and we have Mary Lewis. What happened was they were rich or a high class family in London or like someplace in Europe. When they started to colonize America, they went there. And what happened was they lost a lot of their fortune, they lost family members, they lost a lot. But they managed to still keep this house. They have 100 simoleons in their name. So I will show you first the Sims. So here we have Mary Lewis. She is an art lover because, you know, when she was in Europe, she really liked to enjoy art. She's neat and she is a cheerful person. I will explain why I give her the cheerful trait in a moment, but just continuing. She is a caregiver, she's innocent, this is by wonderful whims that gives her those things, so she would be happy to be pregnant, obviously, and she's also domestic because we chose a family aspiration. Her aspiration is to have a big happy family. Okay. I gave her the cheerful trait just because, for the rules of the challenge, our founder needed to have a bad trait, as you remember. So the bad trait that I chose for him, like bad, not exactly bad, I don't think. He's gloomy. He's also an artisan. This is a CC trait that I have. So he likes to do things by hand. He becomes happy when working on crafts. He will get stressed out if he's been too long since he worked on a project. So he likes to do stuff on the woodworking table. He likes to do stuff in the candle making station and stuff like that. Oh, actually, Right now I don't remember if the artisan is actually CC or not. Well, maybe this actually came with Eco Lifestyle, I just don't remember. And he's ambitious. He's like, it was basically his ambition that made him come to America, because he had a happy, normal life in Europe, but he wanted more. It backfired. It's, at least in my head, it backfired. He's okay with having children. I mean, he knows that he needs to have them. And Wonderful Limbs also gave him the handyman trait, and he also has the caregiver trait. His aspiration is to have a successful lineage. But yeah, I gave her the cheerful trait because I think she complements him. Like, he's gloomy, but he's ambitious, and I think that her positive side, her positive view of the world will help him also see it in a. Anyway, I thought that it worked really well for them. So when it comes to the house, this is their cabin, and I like to believe that he started like buying stuff and ordering stuff and making stuff and sending it here, so that when they came to this house they would have everything already settled for them and they wouldn't need to do it much more. So when we go inside, there's like a rocking chair. I still haven't given her the knitting stuff just because I don't really remember. I don't know. I still have to research on Google if knitting was a thing in the 1850s. I will check that out, and if it was, then I will get her the basket. If anyone knows and wants to drop also a comment below and say just if they know anything about this, please be welcome to do so. Any comments and any ideas and perspectives of this time of period are always welcome. So be sure to give me like some pointers if you feel like you know a bit more than me. It's not hard, believe me. So yeah, they have like these pictures. I know they are a bit high end for the start of the challenge, but I like to believe like this is like ancestors of his, and he wanted the portraits to be in this new house just to remind them of where they came from. So they do have a few, and they have like one of the first pictures that could be taken or something like that. They have the easel just because I want her to paint, and she's also an art lover, so you know. By the way, this lot is an off the grid lot. The rules of the Simerican Settlers challenge did not mention this. I am going to assume that back then this wasn't a thing, so we didn't have the off the grid lot trait. Now that we have, I did give it to their lot, which will complicate things a whole lot more. All the lighting for the house is candlelit, and I don't really like these chandeliers, but I could not find anything that worked a bit better and was less, you know, like that. So they have like this little area for them. I'm not going to call this a kitchen or a dining area because it's basically everything in one. I found this sink that works off the grid, which is awesome, and I can place it on any counters. I also have this thing from Lanyard. I never tried this, but it's a distillery. I basically never use it because on my other saves everything is contemporary and it's modern, and I always thought that it didn't fit. This distillery is actually made of wood. It didn't fit with my other houses, but I actually found out that you can prep food in here, which is awesome. But you can make like spirits, liquids, and apparently you can bake. Okay, except we're off the grid, but that's fine. And then we come outside. As we know, we can't have the bathroom in here, so we come outside and we have like just a little woodworking table. I could not find anything that was more fitting. That barrel is actually an outside can, I think, because I did get an error before saying that I didn't have an outside can, which was kind of stupid because that one is classified as one, but okay. We have like the laundry bit because I like to torture my Sims. We have a really old well, and in here we have the outpost. Then we come inside and we have this beautiful place to farm. This is something from Ravishing. I absolutely love this set. and it works wonders because you can just click on it and you can buy the seed and plant it all in one interaction, which is awesome. So I recommend everyone to get everything from this person. Um, we also have like just three little like thingies to plant, some plotters. And basically this is their house. I think it looks really nice and hopefully it fits the time period. But yeah, so these are our Sims, this is their family, this is their home, and I have already checked the calendar. I cleared every single vacation day and holiday from the calendar. I did give them like, I couldn't find a better icon for it back then. I don't know if I already added the icon expander mod thingy. Let me just check. Yeah, I did. Great. So then we can pick a better one. Because this is like just to sign all the passage. So I know that will be worn when the decade changes. It's every 20 sim days. So I have done that. Given this just because. Okay. So this is when the decade changes. So we have the whole of the spring to be in the 1850s. And then the other 20 days will land on Harvest Fest. I did keep Harvest Fest and Winter Fest, as it was mentioned on the rules that we could celebrate something on those days, but still don't know if I'm going to follow Harvest Fest and if I'm going to follow like Winterfest. So I don't know. We'll see when we get there. So yeah, I suppose we're going to start playing with them. If you are enjoying seeing me play this and if you want to keep seeing me play, please do leave a like. You can comment. Also hit that subscribe button and maybe hit that notification bell so you get notified every single time that I post a video. So let's get on it and let's play the Simerican Settlers challenge.